If you're 18, you can actually get rich doing what you love without starting a business. And I think it's actually much easier. You're going to learn way more and you would be substantially more successful in the long run doing what I'm about to go over because of the unique situation that I have where all of my friends are billionaire business owners. And I go to a ton of masterminds of hyper successful people. And the number one constraint of all these business owners is finding the best talent in the entire world. What most people hear today is, oh, you should start a business when you're 18. I don't know if that's necessarily true because you don't have any experience, you have zero skills, you have nothing that you can provide to the marketplace. And at the end of the day, all capitalism is and making money is providing value for a good or service. If there's no value that you can provide, then you are not deserving of making any money. But there are people out there, and especially large, medium sized businesses that are doing like $4 to $10 million per year in any niche that is not online. Their biggest constraints are usually finding the best people in the world to work for them because most of their employees are not ambitious. They're lazy. They're just there for their paycheck. They're just clocking in. They're not trying to make the business more money. And I know this for a 100% fact. That is how most businesses are. Those people are desperately looking for the best talent in the entire world, but they don't get that talent because all the young people today are saying, oh, I want to go work for that guy on social media. No, you don't. Those guys are not the ones that are really moving the needle, not doing the best. And so let me tell you an example of what my roommate is doing right now. He makes a lot of money at his job, but he is hyper passionate about health and wellness. And he said that he would do anything to work in health and wellness. And what he did is he found one of the number one health and wellness spots. We live in Scottsdale, Arizona, at least part of the year. And this shop was in Beverly Hills, LA, where they were doing some of the craziest health and wellness things to biohack, doing all these things. And he wants to open up clinics. So he went there to the office and started talking to the owner. And the owner was super impressed. First off, the guy that went to him was already that incredibly knowledgeable because he is passionate about health and wellness and all the things that this guy was doing. And so he blew him away. And this guy wants to scale his business, but he's an older guy. He's in his mid to late 70s. So he doesn't want to run the business every single day. He wants to continue to grow. He wants to open up and franchise the business that they're doing to where they're doing tens of millions of dollars per year. But he needs help. And so he's going to potentially give my roommate equity in the business and have him start an entire new location after he trains him at their location because of all the upfront time, capital, and interest and ambition that my roommate has shown. You would say this is a freak accident, but it's not. None of these businesses that are solving a real problem in the world can find hyper ambitious, motivated young people that want to make them more money and grow the business and carry on their legacy. And I know this for a 100% fact because I have a lot of friends that are hyper successful online influencers that make millions of dollars from their business, but they're also online. And those people have a lot of talent that want to work for them. One of the reasons, actually, the only reason why I started this second, or I actually have 3 channels now where I just talk raw business here because I want to find the best team in the entire world. But I know that when people are already mission aligned and they hear you every single day, there's a much higher likelihood of finding better talent that wants to work for you. And for me, that is worth way more than trying to get more sales because for me, my business, I help some of the wealthiest business owners in the world grow their media. And then I help them convert to customers and I do a bunch of other things with them. But those people are never going to be watching this video. And so if I think it's very realistic for someone that's 18 to be making millions and millions of dollars by the time they're 25 years old, if they apprentice themselves under a business that they love. It doesn't matter what you're interested in, you are going to be able to find a business in that space somewhere within a 50-mile radius of where you live. 1,000% you can. You just have to put in the effort. You can look at the best reviewed, the best businesses of, let's say, a 50 to 70-year-old business owner that is tired, that wants to roll out, that wants to continue on their legacy. And you can take modern marketing techniques because these people have so much wisdom. They develop the skill of whatever the practice that they're doing, where they're probably incredible at servicing clients. And then going into those types of businesses and then taking a lot of new things that can be developed and helping them open up other offices, help them expand to other areas or whatever, and help them get more clients. It doesn't really matter if you're always thinking about how you can provide them as much value as possible. And then the education that you would get and let's say going from 18 to 22, a 4-year, let's say college degree, but working under a business owner trying to solve real problems, you would be catastrophically above everyone else in your niche. That's or in your space. And you would have so much real experience of running a business and growing and having so many legs up than the 18-year-old that tries to start a business to make $5,000 per month or whatever the fuck it is. And so this was the path that I took. When I was 18, I apprenticed myself under someone that already ran a business. And that led me down into starting the business I have today. That is a million times better off than anything I could have done because I spent a few years learning and building a network and getting all the connections. Because that's the other thing you're going to do when you are working for this business owner. Doesn't matter whatever space they're in. If you are really passionate about what they're doing and you tell them that your intent is to learn how to run a business and you want to grow and you want to do all these things and you want to take on as much responsibility in the business, you're going to take over this department, you're going to do these things and take more stress off their plate and make them more money and just to try and learn more, they're going to start to introduce you to their friends and you're going to get in the circles, which is one of the hardest things to do, get in the circles of all these hyper wealthy business guys because they just hang out together. But once you get into those circles, it is life changing because I'm in them. I promise you, it really is. And it's not easy to get into, but once you're in, as long as you don't fuck up, you're good. You really are. And so this is something that strategically, I think young men could make a million times more money doing something like this, integrating yourself, becoming like an intrapreneur into a, let's say, a business that's doing a few $1,000,000 per year in somewhere, wherever, whatever space you are interested in, and becoming hypercritical to that business and then helping it grow and eventually taking over. You are basically a 25-year-old at that point that runs a multi-million-dollar business, or you can help them franchise, get equity, and help them scale like a motherfucker. That's what Cade's trying to help him do and take it from a $5 million company to a $50 million company by replicating the model that he has and doing that in different locations and doing a bunch of other things and providing more services and using modern marketing for their incredible service, as well as a bunch of other things. But this is a great idea. I think it takes a lot of effort. Everything takes a lot of effort though. There's nothing that's easy. And that's what I hate about being online is I hate when it's super easy to say a bunch of cliches that sound very easy, but all this stuff takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of dedication and a lot of nights where you're like, fuck, I don't want to do this anymore. That's how I am right now. I'm fucking gassed out right now and it's Sunday and I have the busiest week of my life ahead of me. Last week was the busiest week of my life and I rested a lot this weekend and I made so much progress on the business because I still worked probably 10 hours this weekend, but I relaxed a bunch and I'm gassed out right now. So it's nothing's easy though. You know what's way harder is living a shit life where you have a miserable job 20 years from now. You're not doing the things that you want to do. For me, that is a risk I'm not willing to take. I'd much rather work hard and make something out of it and be tired once in a while. I'm being a pussy right now. Anyway, tomorrow I'll be back up, zapped up on caffeine, and I will no longer be sounding like a soy boy bitch.